What was that?
Okay.
Did you get a debrief for your client?
I didn't. I actually have no idea what's happening with it.
So, which one are you here for? If not all, I'm just curious.
Deca. No one's told me anything. They just brought me down.
Which one is he here for, Decker?
Smith.
Okay,
Processing
so
right now.
you're
What's
I'll give you a full debrief. So, there was a shots fired call.
Is that?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's your
the
client.
white
Yeah.
hair, yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
There was a shots fired call at the corner of Carson and Forum on the southern side. So the building right there next to the basketball courts. You know where that is?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So right next to the rec center and the basketball courts, there were some shots fired calls and some drug sales calls
Okay.
inside the building courtyard. We've previously been over there a number of times, knew this to be pretty hot area for drug sales. We've had shootouts there before, busted drug sales, et cetera, et cetera. So the person who originally called it in was Peach Chi. She called in, radioed for backup. McNulty, Lieutenant McNulty, who's now off duty, went to back her up. They were stationed right about the tow yard, so just north of the scene. Myself, Sheriff Jeffrey Bones, and Deputy Siobhan Thoroughbred were riding together. We volunteered to go in from the south. We crept in from the south in the alleyway. We mounted the building just south of the building they were in the courtyard of, the suspect. We crept along the rooftops. We observed a lilac and color sports car in the original alleyway facing south. A
What's
white car
lilac?
pulled
I'm
up.
not like a
It's
color
like your
guy, you
shirt,
know?
but
Like
purple.
lavender.
Your shirt, but purple. Like a
Yeah,
light,
like
a
a-
light
like a
purple,
light
you know,
baby
like an
purple.
Easter purple. Easter
Okay.
purple.
Oh, purple.
So,
Okay.
well, I said Easter purple when they told me lilac, so I'm just going off what other people told me.
So like
then-
light purple, would you say?
Yes, yeah, like pale purple, yeah.
Okay.
Your client, Miss Smith over there with the white hair, she drove up in a white in color sports car. I think it's a Coquette. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not good with cars.
All right.
I don't know what it is. Fister, there we go. She got out of the white car. She was on the phone briefly, running around in circles, then ran inside the courtyard where the calls were from.
All right.
Bones and I then were on the rooftop, like on the southeastern edge of the courtyard, overlooking them. I observed 2 to 3 individuals, and then the female, your client, Miss Smith, roll up to them. Bones went to like the northeastern corner of the courtyard rooftop, so basically closest to Carson, to try to get pictures of them from a different angle. When he stood up to take photos, they must have noticed
up
him.
until this point, this is all like observation, right?
Correct.
Okay.
They then must have noticed us on the rooftop because all of them, I saw some activity with them start running, them on the radio. All of them then mounted the rooftop. There's a way you can get on the roof from the interior staircase of the second floor of the complex, the courtyard. So they mounted the rooftop on the south, kind of the direction we jumped across the roof and came from. And then a gunfight broke out. So one
Brandon,
Mr.
thank you for the
St.
gift sub.
Clair, originally opened fire on Bones. He was bald with some face paint. There was another gentleman named William Wolf who's wearing all black. He also opened fire on Bones from the south side of the building.
Is he in custody right now?
Both of them are in custody,
Okay.
correct.
So
Your
that guy
client,
over there,
Miss Smith, then ran at me from behind. So remember, I'm on like the southeastern corner. Bones is on the northeastern. She runs at me from behind. So from the southwest, runs to the southeast, runs behind me. I see her approaching me. She runs at me with a monkey wrench, swings at my head. I managed to combat roll, do a 180, and then shoot her down. While this was happening, Bones was engaged in a close quarters gunfight with Mr. St. Clair. I then returned my attention to Mr. St. Clair. Bones was incapacitated by St. Clair or some combination thereof, some circumstance. I don't know exactly what. It was very hectic. I then shot down St. Clair. I then turned my attention to the third individual, the man in black at the southern of the rooftop, engaged in a longer shootout with him. I took time to refill my armor plate and kind of duck down, re-engaged with him, shot him to the point where I thought he was going to go down. He then jumped off the roof and was dispatched by other officers on the ground floor. There were then 1 to 2 other individuals that escaped. I could not ID them, could not tell you who they were. The lilac car ran away, as well as a white gauntlet showed up on scene, but then also left. Your client, Miss Smith, is an accomplice to 4 times attempted murder government employee, as she engaged in the violent actions of her group, who she was on radio with, etc. She swung at me. Bones was shot down. An officer named Peachy, who was the original one who made the call, was shot down. And then a fourth individual, fourth officer was shot at, who's doing processing behind it. So she is being charged with her
Peach
possessions plus
herself,
accomplice.
Bones, and one of the cops over there. Is
Let
that
me
right?
grab the other name. Yeah, it's just four of us.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
And what are the?
So I was shot, and she swung at me. Bones was shot down. Peach was shot down, and then a fourth cop was shot at.
Okay.
I'm sure other cops were shot at, but those were like the primaries, so that's kind of what we condensed it to.
All right.
That we could prove. Obviously, we've run all their guns and everything. She didn't have a gun, but the other two did, and as well as the rest of their possessions. I didn't process her, so I'm not sure if she was one of the ones that had marijuana on her. But if she had marijuana, she'll be charged for that possession as well. We did not observe any handoffs, so there's no sale of drugs or anything like that. No intent to distribute. It's just possession.
Okay. So possession. What were the full set of charges? Or is that still?
Let me
pending?
grab it. Hold on, my MDT's kind of.
Yeah, it's been very flaky the last couple days. You gotta. I
The
had to
technician's
reset
been
it.
on vacation. He's coming back tomorrow.
Oh shit! All right.
Anybody able to access anything right now?
I'm trying
Okay.
so I can
No, my
give
shit's
Mr.
PvP.
Chavez the
Okay.
info.
Thanks.
Who processed Jade? Was that you, Turgle?
Me.
What else did she have on her? Just so but we don't wait for the MDT.
She had weed. She had 67 bags, a joint, and 5,500 rolled cash.
Okay, so misdemeanor possession of marijuana 4 times accomplice to attend a murder employee.
Yep, got that.
Didn't she attack someone?
Yeah, that's what I
Wait,
said.
what was the second one? Or
So
third
the
one,
four,
sorry?
the 4 times accomplice is the blanket. I was the
Yeah.
4th one, the one that she attacked. So we're just using accomplice as blanket because if we do accomplice and then the direct one for her, it actually gives her, I think, more time.
Oh
less
shit!
fair, right?
Okay. Yeah. That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. All right.
Not that I would know that, but yeah.
At least step it up so you.
So she's getting blanket 4 times accomplice if she was part of the group and blah blah blah.
Okay. All right. And has she mentioned at all what she's trying to fight right now?
No clue. I was just giving you the debrief,
Alright.
and you speak to her, and then we'll talk to you after.
Yeah, she
Alright,
said she
easy.
wants a lawyer, so
Easy.
Cool. All right. Let
Alright.
us know if you have any questions.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Haley, can I speak to you too?
All right. Let's go right over here. Well, what's your name?
Jade Smith.
Jade Smith.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yes.
You're
Be
screwed.
honest with me. I'm screwed. How am
Yeah.
I screwed?
You're screwed because that comp is competent, unlike
Yes,
many of the
he is.
others
I
I've
hate him.
spoken to.
Yep.
And so, therefore, unlike 99% of arrests that I've dealt with so far, that guy's actually done his work. And so he's able to articulate. Well, you tell me in your own words.
Okay, so
what you
I
think
was in
happened.
the area just hanging out at my hanging out with my friends over there at the place in Forum Drive.
And just to be clear here, I'm
Yes.
your attorney, so you don't gotta lie to me.
Okay.
So I need honesty, because if you lie to me, I'm gonna walk out. I don't got time
Mhm.
for liars,
I know.
because it makes my job more difficult, and I can't
Yeah.
work with anything at that point.
No, it was actually basically
Okay.
hanging out there. I wasn't
Yeah.
I wasn't pushing weed or anything like that. Yeah, sure, I had
Okay.
weed on me, but I wasn't
Yeah.
even pushing.
Okay.
I was just driving around and come to check on them and chill with them for a little bit before I do other things. And so yeah, I just heard there was a guy on top of the roof, and I went to follow them. I don't know why I was being stupid to follow them. And then I took my wrench out because I thought I was getting shot at, and so yeah, I hit him. I tried to hit
Okay.
him. Tried to. I didn't have a gun on me. I didn't.
But
test
he
positive
managed to
for
like
GSW.
get away from you and
Yeah,
shoot you down. Okay.
yeah.
Is there anything in particular you want me to fight? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this is
Anything.
probably one of the rare occasions where I come down and say, it kind of hosed.
Yeah.
And honestly, they're not hitting you too crazy. They're only
Well,
hitting
maybe
you
if they
with
were-
those that were injured.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
The only thing that I may be able to argue is whether or not, well, no, because they're not even giving you accessory, they're giving you accomplice. So there may be a little bit of wiggle room with like, no, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're probably screwed. The only thing I can think of is like, let's say you tried to hurt him and then those officers went down afterwards. Do you know when the office, did you hear any beep, 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 beep?
No, I didn't hear any beep beep beeps.
Did that happen at all?
It happened after when I was knocked out. I heard beep beep beeps.
Okay. The only thing that they may be able to like sort of like wiggle on is like whether they are willing to not charge you. For cases in which like, okay, so let's say you swing, you missed, you went down, and then only after the fact the cops went down.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that's something that they've done in the past. See, my shit's broken right now. But I don't know if that's something they're willing to budge on
Okay.
anymore.
Well, they didn't read me their charge. They didn't read me the charges. They just told me that I was gonna get 4 charges of attempted murder on a couple of random employees. So that's why I called you.
Yeah, they also want to give you like possession, like misdemeanor possession and whatnot. They're trying to give me a full list of charges, but this shit is busted.
Yeah. So they're not charging me with like drug sales or whatever it's fucking shit. No.
All right. Let me see what I can do.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Saint. Cool.
All right. Nino, give me like 1 minute. Hang on.
Yep.
I'm waiting to see what my charges are, and then I'll tell you if I went all the way.
Nino's here.
Oh, okay.
Hey, can I come out and help you? Because I didn't show up until the end of the shootout, so he's gonna make sure that you get all the info you need.
Deca, the only I guess my only question is who's deciding on the
Sorry,
charges?
I'm
I know
back.
there's a
Back.
processing
Declan.
officer, but I'm sorry.
Declan is Declan's the deciding officer of the
gotcha.
charges right now.
So
I'm supervising. We have some probationary officers on scene.
Okay.
I'm supervising with charge decisions because I
Um,
was also primary on scene.
So I definitely commend you for being able to go through everything. I've let her know that they pretty much got you by the legs here. There's really not much to argue here. The only thing I could really poke at here would be whether or not the officers went down before or after she went down. And I'd like to understand. Well, that would be my question. Do they go down before or afterwards?
So,
It's almost extraordinarily.
okay, so let me just think through the order of operations. Bones would have gone down before her or at the exact same time. I was attacked by her, so that's the other one. One of the other 2 officers would have gone down before she did, as the man in the black was shooting that officer before mounting on Bones.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there would have been possibly 1 officer who would have gone down, or sorry, let me rephrase. The 2 officers that went down at the same time or before her.
Okay.
The officer that she attacked with the wrench was me.
Yeah.
One of the officers that was shot at, I cannot confirm to 100% certainty whether that was before, during, or after. However, what I will tell you is that our training, and my understanding is the way I've been trained, is that when someone takes an aggressive action as part of a group, they are an accomplice to the actions of the others. Them going down as part of that does not preclude them from being an accomplice.
Yeah, I would agree with that outside of if the situation were to at some point pot, right? Like, in other words, this turned into another chase. 8 cops were
correct.
shot
100%.
many far away.
If she goes down at scene 1 and then
Yeah.
there's a scene 2, we wouldn't charge her for scene 2. 100%.
Okay. All right, easy.
But given that this was all condensed to like the same 1 to 3 minute period, she would be an accomplice to all
Yeah.
4 attempted
All right.
murders.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue any of that.
Yeah, this was very rapid fire. I mean, it all happened very, very, very quickly. They basically started shooting at us before I could even call out that they were like, I was yelling, they're getting on the roof, they know we're here, and Bones was getting shot.
Okay. I guess right now it's just waiting to see if I heard possession of marijuana.
So all she's
Misdemeanor.
looking at is misdemeanor possession of marijuana. Right now, we're just struggling to get the MDT to tell us how much that is.
Okay.
I will also mention that in a normal situation, I would probably be willing to push the issue, and even if you're willing to, or wanted to go to a bench trial on the issue, we are not going to seize her rolled cash simply because I don't want to go to court and try to explain the situation without the MDT.
Went off duty.
So right now we're just going to charge her for the misdemeanor possession of marijuana and let her keep the rolled cash. Even though we could probably articulate with the drug sale calls and all that, and there'd be some argument there back and forth, which I'd be open to.
I think that's fair.
But unfortunately, with the circumstances, I'm not wanting to subject the officers to that right now.
Fair enough.
So we're gonna leave her rolled cash on her. We're just gonna be seizing the monkey wrench.
Monkey wrench and the marijuana.
And the marijuana, correct.
Okay.
Let me see if anyone else has managed to get the definition for misdemeanor possession.
What for a guilty plea?
Honestly,
you guys move?
She's going to be looking at 152 months, 25,000 plus whatever misdemeanor possession of marijuana is.
Yeah.
I'm for a guilty plea. I'll drop it down to like half.
Okay. The time, right?
Yeah, the time. We cannot adjust fines per
Okay.
SOPs. But I'm willing to drop, if it's like 170,
plea?
I'll drop it down to like 80 or something.
Okay. Can we do guilty plea plus start the timer given the MDT?
Any last words before I send you off?
You know what I mean? Because otherwise she's waiting here for.
No, listen. I'm giving her more than she's been here for. I'm cutting it down to half. I'm like,
all right,
because her time's gonna be like 170, which is like 2 hours and 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
We've maybe been processing in medical for like 45, so I'm gonna cut it down to like less than an hour, basically, is what I'm saying.
All right.
Just give me a second. Has anyone been able to look up misdemeanor possession of marijuana?
No, I'm literally trying to find another way right now.
All right.
What's up?
So they're only gonna give you the possession charge. They're willing to. They're gonna seize the monkey wrench, the weed, of which we've got excess of. And they are letting you keep the rolls, given that they didn't see you do the sales. I will say that that's very kind of them, because given the fact that they caught your friends doing it, they can infer that you were doing it, whether or not you were doing it then and there. Given that you got the the fucking, So, if you're willing to plead guilty, they're gonna give you half the time.
Fuck, you're awesome. Okay, yes, I plead guilty.
Okay, easy.
Easy.
Before the meeting earlier with Peter, so he may have put a report up.
Yeah, there's literally nothing to argue here.
Yeah, same traffic. We may have to deal with her later, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can't get the MDT app.
No.
Like 0. I can't even open it.
I am not.
You know what? I really don't fucking care. The main thing is the Eternburger employee. We're gonna put it on a record and not bill her. That's it. Okay, we're gonna put misdemeanor possession on her record and not bill her because the MDT. I don't care.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
a
just do
super
that.
minor charge. It's like $500 fine or something stupid.
Okay, we're gonna do the same.
Whatever.
So let's
We're
charge
just
him
gonna
for the
bill
4
her
times.
for the 4.
All right, sounds good.
Do it.
Hey,
Let him know
Turgle.
he's getting the misdemeanor as well.
So
Yep.
we've agreed on a guilty plea for your processing subject, Miss Smith. We're going to be billing her only for the attempted murder government employee accomplice because of the MDT issues. We're going
The
to
4
put the
times?
misdemeanor. Yes, we're going to put the misdemeanor possession on her record later. We're just not going to bill her for it because it's not worth waiting around here for the MDT to fix
Right.
itself. So she'll get billed 25,000, and then you can send her to jail for we'll just call it 60. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. All right. They're gonna be coming down. They're gonna explain the charges, and you're getting a little lucky because the system's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Nino.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
No worries.
It's okay. It's
Pretty
easy. We'll
awesome.
tell you how. All right. Hey, ma'am. So my name is Senior Deputy Declan Crane, number 311 with the BCSO. This here is Turgle Sagulon with the LSPD, as well as Jackson Decker. So we spoke to your attorney, Mr. Chavez here. We have agreed upon a set of charges. You know, I was explaining to him that we did go there because of drug sale calls and all that. But given the circumstances, we're not going to be like seizing your old cash or anything. You're just going to be getting charged as an accomplice for the 4 officers that were either shot down or attacked. So it would be 4 times accomplice to attempt to murder a government employee. That typically is 152 months, $25,000 fine, as well as the misdemeanor possession of marijuana charge. We can't access the MDT to see what that charge is right now for misdemeanor possession of marijuana, so we're going to put it on your record but not charge you for it, meaning you're not going to get the bill. So you're getting kind of a discount on that. And then in terms of the time, since you've been here so long with all the medical and everything and the issues with the MDT, we're going to cut that down to 60 months.
Well, the thing
in
with
exchange for a guilty
Declan that
plea.
you
So it
don't
will
get
be
with a
60
lot of other
months
cops
or
is an
minutes in Bolingbrook
explanation
and a
for why the
$25,000
charges
fine.
are coming up. And this is the thing that
Alright,
triggered Nino
so,
so
Ms.
much with the
Sagulon here is
conversation
going
with
to bill you.
Slacks
So Turgle,
and
we'll just have to rely on
Ruby
her good
is
faith
the
'cause the MDT is
inference
broken.
that
What is your
they
state
want
ID,
to be
Ms.
able to
Smith?
just get away with pressing charges on people and not being able to justify it with probable cause, which
3601.
is
So you're just going to do bill
fundamentally brain dead.
3601, 25,000.
And all it does is generate a exceeding
now you're just gonna
amount
do the same
of
thing, but jail.
unnecessary,
So jail,
boring
3601,
role
60.
play, and the consequence for
yes, hand it
criminals
to her
and
then
lawyers
seize her possessions
is
again.
without that you get just
Put it in like the bottom of
boring
her pocket where she wouldn't have had it.
waiting.
Yeah, it's usually bottom. Put it on the right side because I think that's where my radio was on the left.
Yeah, and the problem is, I think as we've seen with some of the other clients, like this is a good arrest right here, man. I'm gonna complain
Sometimes
about.
if we put stuff
What
in
they're
people's
saying
pockets
is
where they already
like
had something, when
lazy
they go to get it
cops
back,
that have not been trained properly, getting arrested, putting charges up, and not being able to justify it should not be happening.
And I keep her weed and stuff, right?
Correct. We keep the weed in the wrench. Everything else is good to go.
All right. And then seize the possessions again?
Correct. And then you can jail 36-1 for 60.
Okay, got it.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good day.
You too. Bye, Decker. Bye, Nino.
All right, you have a good night. All right, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Never plead guilty unless you got a lawyer. All right.
All right. Right this way, sir.
All right. I appreciate how you handled that.
Yeah, you know, I'd like to work with you guys. Try to keep things neutral.
Well, I mean, explaining each and every charge.
Yeah, I mean, that's our job, right?
No comment. I'm gonna
Kind
hold.
of doesn't work if we don't, right? Because then it's just a bunch of misinformation
Oh.
and arguing.
Yeah.
You wanna?
Yes.
I can let you out the back here.
I'm not a backdoor guy. Can we go out the
you're
front?
Okay, yeah, no problem. I wasn't sure where your stuff was stored. Grab this way.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put this in.
Man, that escalated quickly.
Yeah. Drugs like a big deal right now.
Oh, honestly, Forum changed hands, I think, based on what we just saw. So, it used to be Forum used to be a big deal for us because that was Hydra's turf, and we had a lot of problems with them shooting us. We had to go down there with like full force, but I didn't know that turf changed hands because Saints are there now. So. Drugs are kind of in a weird transition point. There's been a lot of turf wars, though. I think something might be happening with like the areas people control.
Makes sense.
There's about 3 or 4 turf wars happening like all at the same time right now.
Oh yeah. Once on
Oh, now
Can anyone respond?
All right,
I
sir.
can
Can I
hear
get
you
your
on radio.
phone number?
All right.
Oh, phone number, okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Declan. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.